Greetings and welcome, my servants. So let's look at Space Tyrant. A game about conquering space as a tyrant. As simple as that, really. In fact, the tagline the developer used to sell me on this was "Conquer space on your lunch break." I suppose you could do that if you have a particularly long lunch break, but, you know, let's not get ahead of ourselves there. So, full disclosure part first. I've been given a key by the developer of Space Tyrant, in this case Blue Wizard Digital. That's misspelled here, I think. Probably. Anyway, it is misspelled. Oh well, this is a pre-release build, which the developer says may get some fixes ahead of the release on July 19th. That's a Wednesday, next Wednesday. But I was allowed to, well, I was given leave to post a video ahead of that time, so I'm gonna assume that means I can post it whenever I feel between when I got the key. So, what is Space Tyrant exactly? Well, it's being marketed as a 5x strategy, I suppose, with the 5th X meaning exsanguinate, which I had to look up, meaning to draw blood from something, I think. Which is quite apt. You're being the most ruthless tyrant space has ever seen. And I know, I'm drawing this out. In any case, for those of you who have never heard of Blue Wizard Digital, they are, on their page, they're marketed as being founded by someone that founded PopCap, and are responsible for games like Plants vs. Zombies, Peggle, Bejeweled. Now, I've not really played any of those games, but I'll not hold that against them. More recently, Blue Wizard Digital is actually responsible for a game known as Slayaway Camp, which I understand is quite a fun game. And I thought about picking it up during the Steam summer sale, but didn't. Because, well, wasn't really in the mood for puzzle games at the time. But this is not really a puzzle game as such, more of a light strategy. The settings are quite simple. In fact, the whole game has a bit of a feel of a mobile port. However, it is not a mobile port, as far as I can tell. Maybe that's in the future. At the moment, the game is marketed to be released on PC, Mac, and Linux. So, yeah. But anyway, the options are limited. I mean, you can mess with the quality if you wish. I believe that happens in real time. I've got it on full screen, so you can enjoy all of it. The tutorials, I recommend you use, because they are full of useful information. Although they are limited in what they actually provide in information, as a lot of is being told in tooltips. But let's begin. Now, I have played a little bit of the game before I get totally away with what I'm doing. You can apparently choose out of 3 potential empires. I only have this one unlocked. The Hoplite Dynasty is cold and hard as the rocks from which their ships are made. Hoplites excel at both space and ground combat. Well, that is sort of true. Because of what I've played, I've unlocked a couple of cards and other things that I have not yet unlocked, which I believe is just more ships and some commanders by the looks of it. Let's start playing. We choose the Hoplite clans. Our invasion begins now. Right. Tomes of Tyranny. Neat. Alright, so the Hoplite clan perks. We don't have any yet, because we need to complete missions for that. But perks are essentially permanent semi-permanent upgrades, as in they stay active as long as your invasion lasts. That is fine. We have 1 commander that I can't highlight right now, but that's fine. We'll see more of him in the future. Now, we need to conquer pretty much all the sectors, and our dangerous opponent is the Galactic Senate. You can sort of compare these to be like the Rebel Alliance, except, actually effective at defeating an empire. Whereas we are starting relatively small and have to build up to become the great Space Tyrant we were meant to be. In any case, we can choose the Twisting Nebula, which I can't get any more information about, but we have essentially conquer planets objectives over here with a single star. The Queen's Domain, it's a difficulty of 1 star. You have a maximum of 5 stars difficulty. We have 2 possible victory conditions, either controlling planets, which usually means a number of planets need to be controlled, or we need to obtain a large amount of credits, which could be possible, depends, not likely though, since we have quirks in this sector of narrow lanes, so we can't get some of our biggest ships. Looted sector, so well, essentially the planets where you get your money are very poor, and ships are more expensive apparently. And if we beat this mission, we get the Scepter of Rock and a card, Tachyon Torpedoes 2. Neat. And in this, the Twisting Nebula, we get similarly, we need to control certain planets. Either we need to control certain planets or have a large amount of crystal or play cards. There's only the Desolate quirk, so lots of asteroids. That's not necessarily bad. Let's actually start with this in Slick Stratagem. Alright, so here's our commander, Stonehair. He's got the Combat Power Meteor Strike, which hurls meteors at the enemy fleet. Quite useful, if you can get them. Now, if we do certain things in the mission, we unlock Tyrant cards, which are essentially just playable cards in-game, which I'll show in a moment. But you need to perform certain actions in order to unlock them. Some of them less fun than others. Like, for instance, capturing 2 asteroids, that's fine, that's absolutely easy. Lethal Force means losing 2 battles to space monsters. That's not fun at all. Since losing may entail your commander dying, and if you have no spare commanders left, that's the end of the campaign. This can be quite tricky. Can be. 1 dreadnought to the fleet, that's fine. We need 5 flawless space battles. Well, we have 4 out of 21 cards available. And we have some equipment we can, or artifacts. Like, we have a Tattered Cloak, a Crumbling Scepter, and a Tarnished Crown. We'll get more stuff later, but let's start as we get this, for instance. But let's start. And loading will take a moment. But yeah, you can play this over several sessions, I think. I think that's partly the intent, though. Not to completely focus your entire time on doing this. Alright. So, in order to win against the Sedit, we need to accomplish one of the following. Conquer 17 planets or play 40 crystals worth of cards. Not the easiest of tasks, but you know, we'll start. Alright, so let's have a look at the interface we've been given. Alright, first off, we have our money, how much we're making per turn, how much science we get per turn, and how much we need for a breakthrough. This is the amount of invasion dice. Invasion dice is what we use to conquer a planet once we've defeated the fleet above it, if there is a fleet. It's basically a regular dice, just a 1d6, which you need to defeat the defenses of a particular planet. Here's our control. We start with 1 planet already. You always start with 1. And we need to have a certain number of cards played. Well, let's look around us. We have a prison planet over here. Prison planets tend to have commanders in there, which you can recruit. In this case, that would be Shocktopus, with a level 1. There's a small fleet of small ships around. We can easily take them. Now here is a research lab, which we will need. There's no defenses around it, so I could easily invade it. Here we have a crystal. If we conquer a crystal world, we get an extra crystal down here, which means we can play more cards per turn. You can only have 3 cards in your hand at any given time, although if you are given a card and you have then 4 cards, you either need to make sure that you only have 3 at the end of your turn, or you'll have to discard. Right, here's our fleet. I can alter it if I wish to. Now we have 4 ships available to us. The frigate, the destroyer, cruiser and a carrier. Each of their own various uses. And these ships can all be upgraded through research. The upgrades can usually be, well, very linear upgrades, as they do more damage or they can absorb more damage. There are also a couple of side grades hidden within the tech tree, which you'll have to choose as the things come on. Now, let's see. The frigate here does a little bit more damage than the destroyer, for instance, with a blaster weapon. But the destroyer has way more armor, which in this case you use to absorb blast. So I'll just put all my destroyers up front. The cruiser also uses missiles. It also has a lot of hit points, so it's fine as a frontline ship. The carrier, however, has relatively little armor in comparison for a big ship. And being a big ship means you absorb a lot of fire. You kinda don't want that. Now, as my commander levels up, the amount of ships he can control and how he can deploy them will increase. But we'll get to that as we go. Also, each ship has its own ability, which will become more apparent as we get into a combat, but... well, I'll leave that for when we get into a combat. Right now I can't really do anything else, just need to think, what is the best use of my time? Since I need to control a lot of planets, getting another commander is probably a good idea. So let's go into combat. Stonehair versus Shocktopus. Right click to begin. Now, before we start, we get to choose one tactic. And I'll pick Eviscerate. And immediately combat starts. Let's just go at regular speed. Let's do a little bit of damage over there. Now I've been using all the volleys on my small ships to try and do a little bit more extra damage. Yeah, combat can be a bit hectic. Alright. Well, I want to make sure that I get this planet, so I might as well cast this. Alright, now invade, roll the dice, and I win. Which now gives me an extra commander. We also get to explore the planet, and potentially you can have something like this pop up. Which, now I'll have to decide what I want to do. Now, I'm not entirely sure it's a fixed outcome for what you choose here. Because I have had this event before, but it didn't go so well with the choice I made, so let's study these. Now, well, at least we now have a new trait. Trait Influence, which exploration events are generated, unlocks unique event options. Neat. But we do lose some science. Although since we have 0 science, that's not really all that bad. Now, once you've moved and attacked with your fleet, they are stuck, or they can't move. That's fine. We can still buy new ships for them if we want to. Let's see, he has got a little points of experience per battle. But of course he has not leveled up. Alright, so let's add a few ships to this fleet, since we do have some money. Put in another frigate back there. Because I kind of want to keep my frigates out of the firing line, whilst using my destroyer as a front line. And Shocktopus's power does help a lot with protecting your ships. But since we can't really do much because there's no other node here, so let's move Shocktopus over here. And that's the end of my turn. Which is over here. Now, I've not talked about this yet. This is essentially my tyranny meter. How good I am doing overall. You generally want to have this as high as possible. If you get it high enough, you can activate the Death Ray, which allows you to blow up a couple of ships of the enemy. Quite fun. However, if your tyranny drops below this red thing, and this red thing is the unrest, you lose. Not good. Not good at all. I don't really need to cast this. Kinda want to save it for something more important. Right, so now it's the Senate's turn. And the rest of the things that could be... We're another secret police. Well... That's fun. Right, you go over there. Which now reveals that planet. Ultra rich. Neat. It's fortified, but you know, that's worth it. Alright, let's have a good roll. Nah. That's no good at all. Let's give me 2 cards, please. Alright, I'll discard one of these. Alright, you move back. And it's the end of my turn. Now, that's not really the outcome I want, because I need tyranny from conquering places to keep my tyranny bar up. And because I don't want that to happen. Alright, we have a banned experiment. Let's activate that. Alright, I need this planet, so we'll guarantee to get it now. Now, in order to beat the defenses of a planet, you only need equal or higher than what's on the defense. Alright, I've always gone for hack the planet, because why not? We've always added a planet power, and in this case it is digitize. Convert a random card into mana. Neat. I'll save that for now. Kinda want this ultra rich fortified city, because that will help. But we need to deal with this. So here we have Slick as commander, a 2-star. Recharges shields, but he only has 3 ships. Shouldn't be too hard to defeat. However, if a commander does show up next to your planets, you're always a little bit nervous that they go on the attack. Not likely to happen, because, well, on a 1-star difficulty mission, the Senate is not that aggressive yet. We are, however. Right. Right. Before we begin, as I choose a tactic, we have here our commander squaring off. There's a energy bar that slowly fills up. And you use this to activate the abilities on your ships. Now, I start with 1 power because of the equipment that the artifact that I have that gives my commanders that. But that's fine. It's just something to keep in mind. Alright, I kinda want to... What do I want? Well, let's get Eviscerate. And put that on that thing. Right, volley. And these things have shields. Well, not. Let's repair that. Well, there goes my cruiser. Now, it is possible for my commander to inspire once this bar fills up, which allows my ships to regain their ability. But that's the only way they regain their ability. Alright, let's invade. Ooh, he's level 2, neat, so he gets more ships. And invade. Should be an easy conquest. Not that asteroids really do much for me. Nothing discovered. Well, that's a pity. Now we know the Senate is over here. The goal of a mission is usually not to bother with the Senate immediately. Because, one, that's just not worth it. Alright. Now, but we do have access to some more planets, and I could fire the Death Ray if I want to. Alright. Now, ships don't level up in any way, so losing some doesn't matter much in overall terms. No, I don't have enough money. That's fine. We'll deal with that. We now need 3 experience to level up to the next level. No, let's just keep on playing for a bit longer. Just a little bit longer. Just one more turn. One more turn. Well, you're done, so... It's the end of my turn. Let's go. He's fortifying, that's absolutely fine. Titan grip. Extra credits. I'll take. Now, over here we have more of those ships, but they are not commanded by anyone of real danger. This symbol means that this is a one-way lane. So I can only go through that way. Alright, let's get our commanders busy. Ooh, a barracks world. Those are useful because they give you an extra invasion dice, which I definitely want. And again, we have the same problem with a one-way lane. Well, nuts. Right, let's invade. Darn. Well, nothing more I can do about that. I don't have enough. Just get another destroyer and kill that. Alright, he's got just a couple of small ships. Now, you don't have to use a tactic, but if you don't use it, it'll just usually show up in the next time you want play, so something to keep in mind. I'll just pick Armageddon and not use it. I keep forgetting these things have shields. I mean, they're weak, but... Alright, come on, give me some inspiration. And there it goes. Didn't lose a single ship. An ion storm sweeps through the system and the fleet cannot avoid it. Heavy interference has already blinded all ship sensors. Now, I have no idea what these other options are because I don't have the traits, but let's batten the hatches. No losses, we lose a little bit of health. That's fine. This fleet is not going anywhere. Yeah, let's defend this planet. Oh, I can't. Well done. It's a doomed pacifist, ultra-rich, decaying city. That's a lot of modifiers. But essentially this planet will explode, which is no good to me. Oh, we can also do a research. Alright, so we can now either upgrade the frigates with a plasma furnace, which makes them do more damage, or give cruisers an extra missile rack. Or a fast missile rack. 3 more shots per volley. Let's give these, because I use them a lot more often. And that's the end of my turn. And that's annoying. That's always nice. Now, I can increase the production of this planet by oppressing, but that would remove all of his available moves, so I kind of want to do that at the end of my turn. Let's see, what is this, actually? This is a vulnerable gold mine. Yeah. Yeah, let's not go that way, because there's a space shark, rather, hanging around there. Space sharks eat fleets. Quite literally. So I'm not bothering. Instead I'm going to this network node. Right, Sonar versus Red Eye. Let's heal one ship to full HP. Now these ships have no shield, so I can let loose. regenerate. Cruiser goes down still. But all his frigates are down. And he's dead. Alright. And he's now level 3. Increases a lot of stuff. Invade. Darn you dice! Why are you against me? Also. Darn. Alright, invade. Yes. And we can improve the planet. Hack it. Right, we've improved. We can loot it. We can permanently damage it for 200 loot. I'll save that for now. Instead, let's research. Now again, we have the fast missile racks. Or we get the wide base. Now, since we're not using carriers at the moment yet, let's just get the fast missile racks. Go. And that's what starts happening. Right. Landing party. Well, let's invade first. So I can get the planet. Deep device. Crushing depth of a gas giant. Let's dive anyway. Yay, we find a group of aliens partying in a hollow sphere. We learn much from the experience after we sober up. Neat, get some science. And we get something. Alright, here's a side grade. So either we can make my destroyers a little bit more tough, or we can make them shoot irradiated ammo. Well, I'm kind of using them as shields. I'll take the Jade Fortress. Right, interlinked node. Let's explore the planet again. Nothing new discovered. That's a pity. Alright, let's fill up the ranks a bit. Right, we have the money for it, so let's get a carrier. Project it. And let's get some more small ships. Having options is always neat. I'm not saying this is the most efficient build, I'm just saying this has worked for me so far. Right, in the meantime, get over there. Let's get this guy down. Right, he's got just a couple of small ships. I'll just clear the sky, it doesn't really do anything. Ouch. Well, these ships are quite tough. Your ships do tend to favor shooting the front line before they get to the back line, unless they have a clear shot. I think. Again, I've only played this game for like 2 days now. I'm pretty sure I've not figured out all its intricacies. Like for instance, I have never really, that's just the tutorial again, that doesn't really help me. Right, give me a good roll. Yes! Victory! Getting some extra tyranny. Doppelganger. Alright, so I could hire this doppelganger as my bodyguard or publicly execute him. Let's execute him. Right, so we now have an extra crystal, which is neat. I could go to the pacifist lab. Or head over to this poor city, because I kind of want to get rid of these agitators. Because those are annoying. So let's use the reserve tank on this fleet. So they can go over here. Invade. Oh, come on! I mean, sure, I get a little bit of that, but come on! Well, sweet. Alright, end of my turn. We're already halfway to what we want to do. Right, I'm gonna leave the space shark alone. That's what I'm waiting for to happen. Alright, fusion mine. Might as well activate the arena deathmatch for some more tyranny. I mean, I don't necessarily need to conquer that planet, but I kind of want to. Because I can do something like that. In a distant cell blocked, you find a renowned bounty hunter locked away. He begs for his freedom, but you grant it. Employing him as a hitman. Ah. Darn. So we lose a little bit of tyranny. Oh well. Let's improve our income. And that ship is not going anywhere. I don't need to do that, but I do want to actually get one more destroyer in the fleet. Alright, let's go. Oof. Yeah, these ships are tough. Shield wall up. Right, come on, inspire me. Come on. Right. And now he has the inspire volley. And we win. Alright, let's... Yay, he leveled up. Invade. And we win. Good. That'll make things a little bit easier. No, we found nothing. Alright, let's... keep the enemy on the back foot. Very nice. Oh, nuts. Alright, we can go another time, but let's first get over here. This should be an easy victory. And there he goes. Right, invade. We now get an extra dice, so we have less chance of not getting enough. Right, planet captured. Bejeweled blood fever, the most feared plague in the verse, has broken out. The populace is terrified as infection runs rampant. Oh, collect samples for study. Neat. Ah, deadly and unstoppable. The value of this virus cannot be understated. Your scientists will be passing the results for many years. Sweet. Let's get the regeneration field. That is very useful. Let's have another look at this planet. Graphitic anomalies. Deep inside a nearby nebula, your scouts find a tight cluster of graphitic anomalies, since it cannot eject. Set in a ship. Ah. Well, we do have the navigator trait. Well, of course it destroys my carrier, but, you know... Sucks to be them, I suppose. Alright. Just trying not to get too greedy. And there's not really anything else I can do. Not expecting any immediate threats. I mean, might as well fortify that. Well, that sucks. Teleport the fleet back to homeworld. Well, that would be nice, but I'm already so close. You know what? I'm just gonna hire another leader from the militia. It's not particularly good leader. Not a particularly bad one either. He's just a leader. Alright, let's go in there. Here, you take care of that. Right, let's hack the planet. Get a planet power, we can consume 1 mana to produce 20 credits. Not worth it at this point in time. Alright, let's just keep conquering. Alright. Invasive program, make them slow down. Ooh, and they have given all my small ships a boost. Neat. Thank you for that. Not a particularly smart thing to do, but you know, thanks. Alright. We get another card, a flagship. Neat. Very neat. Alright, hack the planet. You do get a lot of these. Oh, very good. Yeah, let's permanently upgrade them. You can upgrade them, I think, a few times. Right, and research. We want... I could get my frigates to go into kamikaze mode when they are low. I don't know if irradiated ammo is really worth it. I'm just gonna go with extra defense. And this won't do me anything unless I attack right away, which I can't. And I don't have the room for the flagship. So instead I'll just fire on them. And go. Oh, that was uncalled for. Deploying militia, that's never good. Right. Now let's tighten our grip. Let's get a little bit more power. Reduce the enemy fleet. And engage. Right. Let's launch the fighter squad and start with the volley on the frigates. Make sure that whenever we have a breach we can seal it. We are fighting in an asteroid field apparently, so that's causing some problems. And we're done. Didn't lose a single ship. Cool. An unstable wormhole. Without warning, a wormhole-like anomaly appears in front of your fleet. You must act quickly to avoid disaster. Enter it. Hey, no losses and some interesting data was gained. Neat. Alright, you can come over here. Militia versus Red Eye. Yeah. Don't really have any abilities that make this fight a bit quicker. I mean, I could speed it up. Yeah, a little bit of overkill, that's fine. Because we are close to the goal we need to set. And I can upgrade this world again. Alright, my ships are stuck where they are not needed. Is going home quicker than moving? I guess it is. Right. You go home. I can destroy that before it does anything particularly annoying. Also, yoink. And you're already done. Yeah, nothing else I can do. Oh, will you stop doing that? Yeah, they're getting scared now. A little bit too powerful. Oh, we're being attacked. That's unusual. Alright, let's do the laser strike on the first row. Keep our ships alive with the regeneration field. Stop inspiring them. Or give me an inspire, that's also fine. Alright, hack the planet. Hurry. Oh, really have attack. So... protection field, probably a good idea. Activate that. Yeah, let's hurry that. And let's get the fighter warheads, why not? Alright, you go there. Eviscerate. And let's hurt that ship. Yay! Invade, come on. Well, it was pretty heavily protected. Oh, this is gonna be dangerous. Alright, let's go. If nothing else, I can at least deploy the flagship by losing the ships. Right. Let's keep conquering planets. I'll stun an enemy. Ooh, neat. And invade. Yeah, militia's increased, that's fine. You're still a bland name though. Oh, come on! Alright, next turn. Hacking is fine. Alright, mercenaries. shouldn't need that. Not for these worlds. Right, invade. And found nothing. Right, invade. And we've won! Because we gained control of enough planets. So we get the Victor's robes, get our stats. Neat. Returning to Tyrant Command. Yes, indeed. So, that one is ours. And now the Senate moves, and... let's gain the small ship specialist. Right. So now the missions over in the Burrowed Fields, which I think is where the Hoplite clans are actually from, it's a little bit harder because the Senate is here. If we allow the Senate, if we allow the Senate to improve their position 4 times, they will lose. Automatic defeat. So let's try to not do that. It does also mean that this mission is now quite a bit harder. So I could just ignore that for now and simply go for this mission, which is still difficult in its own way. But in any case, I think I've shown what this game is about, for the most part. Admittedly, I've not played any mission above 3 stars and I got crushed in that. Mostly because I didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, it's kind of fun. So this... Let's go back to the main menu. It's Space Tyrant. A game by Blue Wizard Digital. I do hope they catch that typo before this game comes out. Which it will on July 19th, next Wednesday. From when I post this video. And again, to reiterate, this is sponsored content. I was given a key by the developer. So, servants, if you would like me to play more Space Tyrant, do tell me. I may actually acquiesce to your request. Thank you for watching.